One of the things I've thought of for a cover is me in a tuxedo, if we call it Pat Boone in a metal mood, which is what I'd like. In a tuxedo, dressed just like I'm gonna go be with Princess Di or something, looking as good as I possibly can, but leaning back with one foot sort of crossed over there and just leaning back against this humongous Harley Davidson with chrome all over it. There's one out here at the Hard Rock Cafe with a couple of electric guitars, maybe one of Slash's guitars and Eddie Van Halen and stuff like that, and maybe have their names on the guitars, but then with some saxophones and trumpets, and I'm just leaning here again, taking a break against this Harley, and say in a metal mood.
And I dream.
Pat Boone, somebody should fucking poison his fucking milk.
With the wind and the rain in your hair.
Fairies wear boots.
And you whisper good night with the wind and the rain in your hair.
Music.
Now it will be my favorite memory.
We drink the vomit of the priests, make love to the dying whore.
Standing there. With the wind.
Welcome to hell. Well, yeah, I'm ready to take some heat because I know that on the side of, in the metal community, there's a lot of skepticism. What is he doing? Pat Boone, of all people, what is he doing our songs for? He can't do them, you know. It's going to be a joke.
Well, heavy metal, thrash metal, death metal, speed metal, funk metal fusion,
Fast singing, fast music.
Female metal music.
Like I said, if it's too loud, you're too old.
I think the term itself, heavy metal, sums it up accurately. I mean, it's the least musical term or description I've ever heard in my life that describes anything vaguely related to music. It's abominable. And needless to say, everyone I know who's played heavy metal instantly denies it.
From my knowledge, the first band was Steppenwolf, who in Born to Be Wild made heavy metal thunder.
It's really, really, really hard to sing about, you know, flowers and love when you have, you know, guitars, bass, and drums just like totally pounding, you know.
And that's what's important to remember here, that the rock and roll chord structure has never changed from the black guy with his guitar with his 3 strings on it in the early days of the rhythm and blues, right the way through till now. The chord structures are the same. They're using A, they're using E, they're using C, they're using D. They haven't invented any new chords. It's a bit like dance moves. There's only a certain amount of dance moves. All you can do is put them in a different order.
Frank Sinatra was a scandal in his day. All them girls screaming at him, right? He said, that filthy Italian swine, and those tight trousers, look at that, disgraceful.
Now, heavy metal is no compromise.
Everyone seems to think that it began at a certain time. There are some people who seem to think that it began with the Kinks or the Yardbirds.
Then Elvis showed up and they could hate him even more, see? Because he had funny hair and he wore black people's clothes, so that was great, you know. Like, Frank Sinatra suddenly became respectable. Now we go for Elvis. It's just... Elvis was the spawn of Satan, I remember. Because I remember his first record coming out. He was denounced from pulpits all the way across America. Yeah. Now he's like a cross between fucking John Fitzgerald Kennedy and St. Joan of Arc.
There are some people who seem to think it began with Jimi Hendrix or Cream.
Heavy metal is, it's the bastard of the music.
Metal has the label as one of the most nothing to say forms of music. You know, because of bands like Poison and Motley Crue and stuff like that, that started the glam thing, where the lyrics didn't mean anything. It was all about party and stuff.
We have had many changes on this stretch of road, but we're coming up on something that, in another way, it's another historical moment, because we have a billboard of Frank Zappa, my father, on Sunset, which is very exciting because at one time he used to play the Sunset Strip, back when there was all kinds of styles of music, not just metal.
And there are other people who think it began with bands like Black Sabbath and Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple.
There is no genre, it's just rock and roll, you know. It's all music, like in the 60s and 70s, early 70s, any music could be top of the charts. Like hard rock or Joni Mitchell or anybody, you know. And like, that was much healthier.
Pat Boone is so darn excited about heavy metal, he's gonna bring it back. He's gonna be the savior of heavy metal. And you're gonna find out why if you keep watching, because Pat is so cool. Oh yeah.
First heard Elvis and Richard and so on. That was my first revolution. So we then got into Howlin' Wolf and Fats Domino, Solomon Burke, and anything that was obscure didn't have to be good. We didn't even have to understand it. It just had to be incredibly obscure because that gave us status in the garage. And although we idolized American music, there was a feeling that we could perhaps turn it around, send it back again, you know, with a bit of a British twist to it. Yeah. The Beatles, of course, were the first ones to actually start writing their own songs. This was a phenomenon that no one had thought could happen. And it coincided with a sort of an embracing of the freedom of spirit of music.
So I wanted to play stuff that was very aggressive stuff, powerful. You know, I was really like Sabbath and Purple and Zeppelin and all the obvious ones.
It was Deep Purple's ability to improvise and kind of, you know, just go crazy and over the top.
So I went from the rhythm and blues, true thoroughbred, to the Deep Purple rhythm and blues, and then I started to find out the real Deep Purple, and it was like, that was it, man. I was into rock from that point on.
I mean, it was just a genuine desire to, examine the limits and push the limits of your personal ability and your personal expression on your chosen instrument. And B, to do that collectively with a bunch of guys that you felt were as adventurous as you, whilst shagging as many women and drinking as much whiskey as you possibly could. I didn't say that. I will, of course, eventually.
Have to be honest.
It was there was a very strong feeling of adventure in the air, you know.
60s. Yeah, it came out of flower power, really. It was a great big revolution in music that the artists really took over. Certainly the Beatles were beginnings of all that, but coming out of the west coast of America was a feeling that you could actually do anything. You could write any song in any style about anything, and there was a great freedom in the air. And I think there was a sort of backlash to that love thing. I always felt that there was too much love around, that it was going to somehow turn nasty. And it did. It got sort of very hard, and maybe that's had something to do with the harshness of the sound.
Walking out on another stage, another town, another place, nerves wound up too damn tight. Because kicking back don't make it. Out of control, I play the ultimate role. Don't know how to fake it.
I have a feeling that this album I'm doing is very much like this garden. I had to do a lot of soil preparation, had to break up some crust, do some digging. I had to go get some seeds, in this case CDs, seeds, and go find some terrific songs that I thought I'd like to plant. And then when I did that, like all this corn and all, of course you got to water it, you got to cultivate it, you got to cull out some weeds, but after a while something good starts to grow, and hopefully it's going to be delicious and good for you. So all of this is good for you, but you know, you got to get into the dirt. You got to get into the dirt to make it grow.
Ozzy, yeah! Kiss and Motorhead and Deep Purple, and you can see, you know, it was Judas Priest's kind of riffs that inspired us. It was Kiss's stage show that inspired us. It was Motorhead's really, you know, aggressive, heavy, almost punk attitude.
That makes Lemmy, you know, an important rock and roll figure because he's survived, and I don't know how.
How did I get a tattoo? About 14 years ago, it's the first time I ever saw Motorhead play, and it was just like really cool, and it was like totally heavy. So when I had my rose done, I just had heavy put underneath. That way, every time I look down, you know, I remember Motorhead. You know, there they are, heavy. Just for you, Lem.
Heavy metal is all about melody, timing, and money. We haven't got to wear business suits in this job, see? I can dress exactly like this, how I want. It's good.
This is why I moved to America. Fudge brownies. Somebody gave me a dagger, you know, years and years and years ago. Because I always collected knives. I like knives, you know.
Why?
Well, they're more personal. You know. I mean, if you kill somebody with a fucking knife, you got to get his blood all over your hand and you got to feel him shake on the end of your arm, you know. Like, that's personal. Nobody would do it. With a gun, any fool can shoot anybody from 50 yards away, you know. That's why I don't like guns. People with long hair. Here's a funny one, look. I look like Jesus Christ, right? I mean, out of the good and the bad guys, right? But everybody I see tells me that I should look more like Hitler with short hair. It's good, isn't it? Think about it for a minute. All the people who love God told me I should look like Heinrich Himmler. Yeah, good. I'll listen to them, all right? Cheers. By the time I was 3 years old, the people were coming home from the war being demobilized, you know. We had some prisoners working on a farm up the road from us, you know. It was like, it had just happened, so I always, in my head, it's always like a very present memory, you know. Whereas the people I talk to now don't remember anything about it. You know, they were born with rock and roll already happening. I haven't seen my father since I was 25 anyway. And that was only for half an hour. Before that, I hadn't seen him since I was 3 months old.
Is that right?
Memories aren't very clear since I was 3 months old.
So many people
I won't write to order. I won't write the prescribed line, fuck them. They haven't been good enough to me for me to want to do it for them, you know what I mean? I never had a dime of social security, I never had anything from the government of any country, fuck them. All they ever did was put my friends in jail, almost put me in jail and fucking repress and fucking mutilate us, that's all they ever did, fuck them. All they are is looking after their own job, they ain't doing shit for me, or you, or you. By cheat, dissemble, preach and spy, build your house of straw. March or croak, all your life a cosmic joke. Fill your days with piss and smoke, the wolf is at your door. Look, that's a great lyric.
Yeah. I mean, you know,
if I was in the 19th century, that would have been the bloody Tempest or something, you know, like, not the Tempest, what was that thing by Byron? And shook a dreadful dart, you know, that one. But Hades, you know, those days, Hades, much better word than hell, you know. Hades, much better.
There's another line.
Trouble is now nobody can spell it. What?
I am so hungover. I'm fixing to go to bed now, man.
Oh, let's go.
We gotta rehearse.
Suits me.
We're gonna cut down them dang, it's too much of that in it. It's just all that in the end.
Goes 4 hours actually. Doodle.
There's too many of that down there, I'm telling you. It just gets like, it's killing it, it's overdoing it, you know. It'd be good if it was less.
Bastards! your lyrics talk about trying to, I guess,
Improve things.
yeah, in a way.
In a way. Or just glorifying in the death and destruction. Because we all have a little of that in us, boys and girls, don't let's forget that, huh? Yeah. We'd all like to see the bomb explode as long as it was somebody else, wouldn't we? Yes, we would. So strips of flesh burning off the naked, unmarried mother and little baby toasted in the gut, and it's great. Show me that, man, that's the best TV in the fucking... Because it is, isn't it? I can't help it, but it is. It's a flaw in our nature. We are like that. So I'm just writing my side of it. I'm just observing it, you know.
See the sun in your eyes.
You have to understand it before you can fight it. And then I got no problem with war, you know, I mean, they happen all the time because we like them. That's what we're good at. It's the only thing we've improved in 2,000 years. We've not improved our mindset, we've not improved our economy, we've not improved the way we treat people, but we sure have improved ways to kill a lot of people from a long way away, right? That's the only technology we really shine at, you know. Which says a lot about us, really, as a race, you know.
Do you think some of your concern communicates to your fans?
Not for a second, no. Not at all, no, I don't think so. Because, I mean, you have to be 50 to be this pissed off. And they aren't, you know. And, well, some of them are approaching it, I guess, but, like, I don't know, why should they listen to me anyway? I might be wrong. You know, mankind so far hasn't shown that they know much about shit. I might be just another one. You know, why should I be right? The fuck do I know? I can't do it. I can't write to that one while I'm hearing this one. Drop!
Hey, right on. Oh, there's a raccoon. Look at that. How you laugh when I cry. Each time I saw the tide take our love letters from the sand.
My dad, thank God, still living at age 90, was a building contractor, a builder. And he was disappointed that neither of his sons followed him into the building business. I went into music, my brother into various kinds of church work. So yeah, ours was, I'd say lower, middle income kind of family, but very close, church going, Bible believing, and just good old heartland America family. Another idea, because so many albums today are just your face, the artist's face in some angle or whatever. And I thought it'd be great to have just a picture of me just smiling, you know, just trying to look just like I'm posing for a publicity picture. Everything about it very realistic, except the pupils of my eyes, which are obviously steel. maybe with a little red light, just a little red light in the middle of it. So I'm like the Terminator or something, looking very much myself, totally, except the pupils of my eyes, and I'm in a metal mood.
As you're growing up, you're raised with a certain set of mores and what's right and what's wrong. And as far as I'm concerned, by what my parents and family taught me, the government in this country is the opposite. You tell me you're an attorney or work for the government, I know when you're lying because your mouth moves. I trust no one. Pardon me? I'm a police officer. This is the front of the jail here. County of Los Angeles Central Jail. In 1969, you see these two flowering trees on both sides?
Yeah.
I planted those when they were in 10-gallon cans.
You're kidding.
No. That's what makes me feel old. Yeah, we were talking about music the other day up at the bike fest in the canyon, and this is my collection. Motley Crue, Soundgarden, Motley again, Nirvana, Def Leppard naturally, Van Halen, my man. That's my boy there, and the crew. So, Wiedersehen. Tschüss. Tschüss.
Well, the idea first came as a joke in 1987. I mentioned to a writer that, because he said, well, are you going to do anything else, or are you through? Virtually, is your career over? My hackles rose just a little, and I said, well, no, I'm working on a couple things. He said, like what? I said, well, one thing is an album of heavy metal classics. He said, what? I said, yeah, an album of heavy metal classics, my versions, big band versions of, like what? I said, well, like Enter Sandman, Metallica. You doing Metallica? When I try to tell people it's a heavy metal lullaby or bedtime prayer, they think I'm out of my mind. But that's what it is, you know. It's a father saying to his son before he goes to bed, say your prayers, pray for me, pray for all of us, and then hold your pillow tight, because, you know, there are things in the dark that will bite.
I think, you know, a lot of people who are attracted to heavy metal are people who are just angry and bitter, and you know, are just, you know, just basically pissed off. So they can relate to the nihilistic kind of tone that a lot of heavy metal has. They can relate to, you know, to the very negative outlook on life in general, because I mean they feel it, they experience it, and that music, you know, just brings it out of you, and like, you know, just pushes that sort of feeling even further. And I also recognize the fact that a lot of fans see Metallica as a lifestyle, and to go farther than that, like a philosophy, a philosophical idea, which is, you know, pretty much based on rebellion and anti-authority, and to be true to yourself as a person.
I'm having such a good time finding nuggets of truth.
Hush, little baby, don't say a word, and never mind that noise you heard. It's just the beast under your bed, in your closet, in your head.
I think it's pretty funny that Pat Boone is covering one of our songs. The guy doesn't have a whole lot of soul, does he? I mean, you know, it makes sense that he's covering a heavy metal song and not like, you know, a Marvin Gaye song or something.
Hi, my name's Abaddon. I'm from the band Venom, and this is my house. It's a primitive Methodist chapel originally.
Everything smells better, everything feels better, just everything's nicer looking, it's just more pronounced. Being around the people, well, I mean, you're really not going to find any more loyal, more unpresumptuous people than when you come to a place like this. This is my dad. Don't leave the money. Yeah, I ride usually with my dad, and with him it's more of a mellow ride, a little bit easier. He doesn't go speeding around everywhere, but then when I'm with my brother and his friends, it's a little bit harder, faster, so that's more like White Zombie.
Oh, wow.
So. Yeah, I listen to country a lot. He won't listen to my music, it hurts his ears, but I do listen to country.
At my age, her music hurts. Too loud and doesn't make any sense to me. Even in English, I don't understand what they're saying.
It just brings a smell back, it brings a feeling back, it brings a memory back. And I kind of think that's the job of a heavy metal, somebody in heavy metal, I think, is to create a backwash to people, I suppose, in puberty, you know, people growing up and kind of experiencing life. I think, you know, I mean, Sepultura singing about where they come from, singing about roots and singing about Brazil and singing about, you know, harsh realities. It's a necessary experience for people to hear this and to witness it.
We are nomads, you know, vagabonds wandering around the world, different cultures and stuff, showing your message and stuff like that, and it's the best, you know, it feels the best. That's what we want to do, you know, we dream to have the same chances as like our idols, you know, like Black Sabbath and Deep Purple and Judas Priest and, you know, Kiss and Queen, you know, those bands travel around the world and seeing different things and doing what they like to, which is music, you know, it's the best. My name is Andreas Kisser, I'm a guitar player from Sepultura. It's the hall. Small backyard and stuff, but it's nice just to spend some time here. And it's good to read and barbecue, drink some beer. My wife, Patricia.
Hi, I'm
Lemmy.
Patricia. Nice to meet you.
It's Germany. Here's one of the best shows for us when we opened for Black Sabbath and Ozzy.
Huh.
It was supposed to be the last Ozzy gig, but now he's back again and we're playing with him again. I never wanted to get away from home. You know, I never felt like that. Even I'm living here in the States. Before we were so much radical that we hated all the Brazilian stuff. You know, we just want to do loud music, like influenced by European and American bands, like metal and hardcore, really to shock people and do something different that everybody were doing in Brazil. And now we're doing like a circle. We respect more a lot about the culture of Brazil. That's why we have so many influence about the Brazilian music nowadays, because we miss so much there, you know.
We've been in this band for 13 years. It was time for us to like go back to our own roots from Brazil, from our heritage, and we decided to throw all the percussion, the cultural roots, showing the Brazilian side that you don't see that much. You either know Brazil about the beaches in Rio or about corruption and police brutality and crime, but there's the artistic side too, I thought. This is the kitchen. This is all family members. And here is actually where I work. So I put my little stereo there, and I do everything from artwork to writing lyrics, to writing music on this table.
Okay, she asked me if I could show up at 12.
Hello. It's my office.
Yeah, that's
where all the brainstorming is done.
Oh, that's perfect. Thank you so much.
I spend all day here, 7 days a week, morning till night, after the kids are in bed. I don't know if that was the manager or the wife. The main thing that I was always concerned with was the band keeping their integrity above anything. And I always tried to preserve that original band. That was what the fans loved, the label loved, you know. So it makes it a little difficult sometimes being a woman. You know, I have to be really tough and strong and not back down, but I'm very good at it. So, with 7 children, I got my training.
Really?
So, yeah, 7. Wow. The baby's sleeping right now. We have a 9-month-old baby. So from Christina down to the baby. She's my daughter, my oldest. I push her beyond her limits. I push her way beyond her limits, believe me, but she's my most valuable person that I really have.
This is funny because we be traveling lately with this a lot, and every airport pretty much will stop me, and they go, whoa, 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 wait. You can't go in a bow and arrow in a plane and stuff. And I go, it's not a bow and arrow, it's an instrument. And it's like, they get really freaked out. And mainly here, like I think with the bomb threats and all that, they see this, they think it's a real bow and arrow, gonna shoot somebody in the plane. So I have to like, okay, I'll play for you, and I'll play a little bit for them, and they say, okay, you can go now. I've been collecting this for 4 years, and this is all from touring, from all the places we go. So there's stuff from, this is from Australia, this is from Brazil. This is, I bought in London, but it's actually from Africa, and this is the guy told me it was a mask of a dead person, made out of a dead person. And it looks like it had either scarification or tattoos in the head. I've been interested in indigenous tribal elements for about 5 years now. It started with like tattoos and stuff like this. When she bought it, the guy was explaining her that inside here, where they have this white stuff, this is people that die on the tribe or whatever in Africa. They cremate them, and then they put the ashes inside there, and then they will lock, and the ashes will be there forever, you know. And then they'll have these in their houses or the village or whatever on the tribe. So right now I have somebody ashes in my living room inside a statue. One of the strongest things probably was my father's death when I was 9. That was something I never got over with. And I think that's why I decided to devote my life for a reason, for music, and try to comprehend why he was taken away from me so early in the you know, my life and stuff. And I started writing about stuff. Then when I told him I was doing this metal album, and I was coming over to see Ozzy Osbourne, his eyes went up a little bit. But I do hope to do at least 2 of Ozzy Osbourne's songs, at least that he sang, Paranoid and Crazy Train. I want to personally invite him to do something on this album that I'm doing.
Hello.
I've never been to a metal concert before. I brought earplugs. Does everybody wear earplugs at a metal concert?
Well, they don't. We do.
I mean,
the acts no.
The acts don't?
No.
All I've got is these little
but those are good.
foam things. Really? Will it?
This is to Donnie.
D-O-N-N-I-E?
D-O-N-N-Y, I think.
Okay. Okay. I just read about a quartet of cellists in Finland
Yes.
that are getting ready to do an album of Metallica songs.
You're kidding.
Including Enter Sandman, just 4 cellos. And of course, that means it must be instrumental. And it's going to come out in mid-May, which will be before our record gets out, which includes Enter Sandman. But I don't think really that I should feel threatened by 4 cellos. I don't. I hope not.
Great.
Ha ha ha! I gotta get them metal sounds. The job this must be.
Oh yeah.
All of this to get the lights, sound. Man.
Yep.
I just walk in with a little Sony Walkman.
Pat Boone is rocking, yeah,
Yeah, just here,
right,
see
yes.
it, just
Are you
here.
gonna rock with Ozzy? That's what I want to know.
Well, it remains to be seen.
Wow.
The first time I've seen him, I'm over here to see him, and I'm working on an album of
Yeah?
metal classics,
No
including
way.
a couple of his.
Yeah.
Crazy Train and Paranoid.
You?
Yeah. But
No.
we're-
Like I said, the crowd, other 2 band people, they want to get down and get close to Ozzy.
Hey ho! You got that, Greg?
Okay. We can walk out all the way out there and you can look and scope and see whatever you want to see, okay?
You alright with that?
The thing is, I probably should not get out into the crowd. Not that I wouldn't matter to them, but I don't want to get hung up. I'm not hearing too good right now.
It's going to be like that for about 24 hours.
Woo.
What are you filming old people?
With the earplugs, I mean, it was still deafening. But then once in a while I would take the earplug out just to see, and it was like my left side of my head would cave in. Well, I don't understand really how they perform like that for 2 solid hours. Hi. 2 solid hours. I mean, I'll do an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, but compared to what they're doing, I'm taking a nap. Okay, I want to go home and meditate about this. I'm going down the road on a crazy train. I'm going down the road on a crazy train. What did they tell you, that he should be coming out pretty soon? Hello.
I manage Sepultura.
Hi, good to see you.
I don't know. My baby fell asleep on the stage, so I put him in bed.
Fell asleep on the stage?
Yeah.
During the show?
Headphones, yeah.
How old is he? Is he
9 months old.
9 months old. He fell asleep.
Yeah.
I was getting ready to ask you how the show went, but
It was good until
real
then,
good.
then I don't know.
Oh.
You know what, Pat? These are Ozzy's daughters. This is Kelly and Amy. This is Pat.
Hi. These his daughters?
Yeah, these are his daughters.
Hi,
Pat.
girls. Boy,
He's doing yoga right now, and so he's not going to finish till probably 1:45.
Oh, okay.
So it's like really hard to break his concentration.
Oh, sure. Oh,
so
yeah.
he's really sorry, but
Well,
he
tell him I
appreciates you coming.
consider him an Olympic athlete.
I will let him know that. Great.
But then again, you know, there's going to be that one guy who's going to bring it all back, Pat Boone. I just don't know what he's up to, but I can't wait to see it. I think I need to play on his record. I think that would be glorious. It would be frightening, and it would be perfect. Yes.
Pint of beer. You will make me drunk. Thank you. That's my faith.
As I was explaining on the way up, I see it as part of my job to come up here all the time and make sure there are no Scots from this side trying to get into England on that side. And it's a lonely job, but somebody's got to do it.
In the 60s we had the Animals, who were quite a group. We've had Brian Ferry, who I was at college with.
Oh really?
Dire Straits, Sting.
This is where I spend like all the time. Almost all the time being in the house I'll spend in here. I just throw loads of candles about, stick some music on, shut the door, play pool.
Yes, I should have mentioned Venom. Of course, yes, Venom.
I tell you, here's a scoop for you. Here's a scoop. If country and western had any influence on me whatsoever, it is if you listen to thrash metal, the drummers in thrash metal bands go dittin, 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 dittin. That is a speeded up country and western drum beat, because all the country and western drummers go dum dit dum dit dum dit dum dit. So if that's the only connection between country and western and thrash, is it's the same bass drum snare, but played at like 300 miles an hour. You know?
You can.
So something it could be something on the next track as we'll come up to.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you find something in this track. It's just a very quick track.
Oh, right. Yeah, just at the start of this.
Yeah, rewind it.
Yeah, rewind this a little bit.
Rewind.
A bit more. I run a publishing company. I run a record company. I manage certain groups. I run the recording studio. I tour manage bands. And I work all the stage layout and pyro cues and work all that kind of stuff for Venom. Go back and stick some of that in. Yeah, the kids' hands up in the air and just slow it down a little bit so we get them in time.
He's making.
Check him out. He did it with both hands. It's because the legs behind him, he can see a screen.
What does the symbol mean?
Sign of the devil. Until you do that.
I was better.
Then it ridicules the whole affair.
I think we're all pretty extremists, and that's the thing. You know, we all probably had quite a violent upbringing, and we all went to violent schools where the teachers used to kick the fuck out of you for nothing.
Round here, if you kind of want to get away from industrialised, well, it might, but it's still the same, but mainly in my day and age, if you want to get away from an industrial background or working in one of these places, you became good at soccer or music.
I remember when we first joined the band, there was a poll in one of the national papers about the most violent schools, and the school Abaddon went to was like second in the most violent schools in the region, and my school was #1 most violent school. It was just crazy. I mean, you'd be walking down the corridor and the teachers would just fucking pounce on you, so there'd just be mass riots, you know. We used to chip up on the walls like how many of the kids had kicked the fucking shit out the teachers, because it was our only revenge, you know.
This is my gym. I've had this gym now for about 4 years. It's a kickboxing and martial arts gym. Two guys you can see in the background. We've got a British champion over here. We've got one of our other instructors over there. Myself personally, I've been training now for about 25 years in a variety of systems such as Taekwondo, Aikido, and now into kickboxing and freestyle karate.
That works. I was going to say, I was just out of order. Completely out of order. They just couldn't keep an eye on us. I mean, I was in and out of fucking hospital. I'm blind in one eye. I've only got fucking use of one hand. I was just fucking, you know. Well, for me, I was just fucking wrapped up in fucking wires. I didn't give a shit. You know, I was full of drugs. This is great. My fucking parents are going grey, you know, and all the hair's falling out. They're like, oh, you little bastard. But I just had no fear, you know. I would just jump off the top of buildings and just fucking hurt myself and just crazy.
What did you do to your eye?
I was in a shooting accident.
You're kidding.
Yeah, you can't actually notice, and that's pretty cool, but I'm actually blind completely in my eye. The pellet's still in the head.
You're kidding.
Yeah, the pellet's still in the back of my head. They had to give us these pills to make a kind of pearl effect around the lead to stop it poisoning my system and that. So, you know, as I say, a lot of it's a mush, a lot of it's a blur, but to me parents, they just must have went fucking grey overnight.
I've only got hearing on one side, but that was a pair of headphones blew up when I was doing when I was recording.
Oh, really?
I just pushed them too loud on one side, just bang. Yeah, and I didn't know I was deaf. I kind of found out like three days later there was some blood coming down my face, but it's never come back.
Is it completely gone or just?
No, it's totally gone. What's going to happen now is when the other side goes, we're just going to get traffic lights put on the drum kit and green, go, stop, get ready, go.
How did you get shot in the eye?
Because we were playing Japs and Commandos with air rifles. So like my friends were over there and we were over here and we were bang like this and bang, and I stood up and got shot. And the kid who shot us was Japanese, so that was cool. Japs and Commandos. He's still my good friend actually. Still cool. So shit happens, man.
You go to the doctor and the doctor kind of look at it and go, well, yeah, that's deaf and that side's going to go the same if you don't stop what you're doing. And it's like, yeah, but you know, this is my job. It's what I do.
This is your life.
It's your life, yeah. I can deal with deafness later.
Venom could sing about love and flowers, let's put it that way. You know, it would look pretty stupid, us going on stage, going like that, and then singing about peace and love and everything, you know?
Basically, they're all old stories. We have come up with some of our own interpretations of things, but, I mean, say, for example, the track Countess Bathory. Fascinating story about this woman in the Middle Ages who was obviously insane. I mean, obviously. Who figured, one way to stay young is to kill virgins and bathe in their blood. Wow. What a fucking lunatic. Isn't that incredible? And she had a keep castle and all that, and like money and wealth and power, and she was an absolute psychopath. What a wonderful story. What a wonder. And like the amount of death and degradation and suffering and everything she caused, and nobody stopped her. You know, it took so long for it to end, and when they finally crashed into our castle and they were pulling the walls away, there was these bodies just piled up, just thousands of bodies, you know what I mean? Can you imagine something like that happening today? But these stories are probably forgotten, you know. I mean, people probably watch a bit of Hammer Horror and see the Countess Dracula story, and it's just the tip of the iceberg, you know. So that song basically is just explaining that woman.
Could you
It's welcoming the virgin's fair to live a noble life in the castle known to all, the count's infernal wife. She invites the peasants with endless lavish foods, but when evening spreads its wings, she rapes them of their blood. You know, and that's the way she got them in. She enticed them. All the people outside the castle grounds were all dying of hunger and everything. So she's like, hey, come in, I'll feed you. What would you do? You'd say, fucking right on, let's go in there and get fed. Little do you know what's inside, huh? Wonderful story, wonderful.
All these cranes and all these buildings are completely defunct now. Fucking British government prefers to buy everything from outside rather than subsidise. They're tying in the weir, so consequently everybody who's trained in shipbuilding, great shipbuilding area, nobody's got any work anymore.
Some very famous ships have been built up here.
So 8 years ago, all this stuff that we're going to see broke down, and they just literally, 22,000 people became unemployed overnight, and the whole river just closed up really.
But that has depleted.
Turn around. All the ships used to be built here. Used to come in here as raw steel plate. They kind of come into this building here, this first part of this building here, and there was like a big assembly line. All the ships would all be put together, built in here. Oh, great building, fuck.
Well big enough for...
This people have just like walked out. It's just like everybody's just stopped in the middle and just went. They've just left. Yeah, we'll take it now. Fix the roof, we'll take it.
History of the shipyard.
This is a great place.
Fuck. Amazing. What are you gonna do?
Recording studio. Put the studio back in here and run the management offices and put the video guy that was down when we were doing the video stuff. That's only temporary. That's supposed to be in our building, so he's going to come back over with us. Control room in there, and then put all the big windows on here, and then tie this off here and make that the machine room. Windows in there, and then just all that recording area.
How are the acoustics going to be here?
Acoustics are going to be bright as fuck.
So where Ozzy and Sabbath and all them would have the "Oh God help me," we were like, no, fuck that's it, fucking kill the babies, fucking kill the nuns, fucking. We just wanted to take it a stage further. It was like horror movie to music. Just everything so much further. We always said we had a pot, and we would stick every band that's ever been in this pot, mix it up, and whoosh, that's Venom. Everything, the biggest show, the biggest bombs, the more studs, the more lasers, the more everything. It's entertainment. We're not the guys to go out there in my jeans. It wouldn't be Venom. We have to be that special event, you know. We have to be that OTT. Always will continue to be. We've still got a million ideas. You know, it's like, let's get the fucking stage and take it up in the air and explode the fucker like a big UFO coming over the audience or something, you know. I think Venom would be the first band to ever play on the moon, you know. cover the fucking moon in speakers and just blast it at Earth. You have to fucking listen to it now. Raw!
If you can see a great Matisse on the wall, and you can kind of put a piece of Venom next to it and say, you know, that this is one side of life, this is another. That's kind of my, I think, my part in the responsibility.
It's not my kind of music. Let's put it that way.
What kind of music do you like to listen to?
All kinds of music, but not heavy metal. Everything except heavy metal.
Hey, you know, it's great to hear that Venom's coming back. I mean, Kronos back from the dead. Jeez. Black metal, lay down your soul to the gods rock and roll. You should use her in a video.
This is called God's Helping Hand Store 2 in Paris, California. My plan was to get rich and famous and then be able to work with homeless people or troubled people that were fresh out of jail or something like that and be able to house them and feed them. And this used to be a mess.
Name
another good brother of mine.
Praise the Lord.
God told me that the gift he gave me was being poisoned while in the hands of men who rejected him, that I relied upon to raise me up to do stuff like this. So I was relying on men who rejected God in order to do it, and then God was able to make it happen just without any efforts on my end. This is Wayne Hughes. This is associate pastor.
God bless you.
This is food for the homeless. This is also for the men's home. This is a lot of hot dogs. A lot of this is bought through the grants and the money that's raised, obviously. I lived on the streets in a car that wasn't mine. I had no money and no place to go to even clean myself. And then 5 to 7 years later, I'm headlining Madison Square Garden with my favorite singer, Ronnie James Dio. I was in the band Ronnie James Dio, because he had his own band called Dio. There was a band called Deep Purple that was real big, and the guitar player Ritchie Blackmore left and formed a band called Rainbow with Ronnie James Dio. He then made a name for himself out of about 5 or 7 albums. Man, I'll never forget this. Deep Purple had their reunion tour going on, and they were looking for a real tame type of an act. So, but we had a few surprises that they weren't ready for. We had some hard rock songs and some things, and I did a solo where the singer would get on his knees and hold the guitar up, and I'd play it kind of like a piano, and the people freaked out. Just all 20,000 people just freaked out, and Ritchie didn't like that. So he kicked us off the tour, and all the agents came in and everything at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, "You've been kicked off the tour." He goes, "But we managed to get it to where if Goldie doesn't do his guitar solo and you tame the set down and not play all of your hard rock songs, you know, you can stay on the tour." So everybody looks at me. So I said, okay, I won't do it, you know. And then we did the whole tour, and the very last night of the tour, I figured, what are they going to do, kick us off the tour? This is the last night, so I did the solo, right? And so Ritchie comes up to me, and he says, "You have to show me how you do that," about the one-handed thing. I was just like, I didn't know what to do, because I thought he was kind of winding me up and getting ready to do one more thing on me, you know. "You have to show me how you do that." I kind of, you kind of do this and that, and I just walked away, kind of, you know. After talking to him, I just kind of walked away, and I thought, "You idiot, that's Ritchie Blackmore," you know. So I went and knocked on his dressing room door, and Ronnie, before I went on the tour, says, "Don't ever try to go into his private dressing room or anything like that." But I just went in and said, "Hey,
I don't care who comes along with this, that, and the other thing. I go, you're the best and you always will be. And I go, no hard feelings. He shook my hands, he goes, come on in. So we start hanging out with each other and stuff like that and kicking the soccer ball around to break his guitar and everything. And he was asking me questions and I knew all these, you know, answers about all of his songs. And I knew all of his songs and even, you know, what string he played a certain part in. And he writes down his home phone number and invites me out for a drink that night. You know, and I thought, whoa, you know, what a cool deal, you know.
But the guitar was given to me by Craig Goldie of Ronnie James Dio when he was with Dio, and he autographed it and everything, and just in case something happened to the guitar, I wanted to capture it for life. So there it is on my arm.
The feeling of you know, being around something possibly untamed or dangerous. Just the excitement, you know, they're real sexy. You know, it definitely goes with heavy metal, no question about that.
This is the heart. This is the heart of England. Southerners wouldn't agree with that, but we being men of the Midlands, this is where it all stems from.
It's the ideal place to come and rest your ears and all your other bits. So I think we came from a very industrial background, very much a working class community, and pretty impoverished really, but I suppose that's the one thing that makes you want to get up and do something.
We started off playing bars and little clubs in England, which we were so small sometimes we couldn't get the equipment on. We had to steal the disc jockey's mic to exist and go and sell that in a second-hand shop, so we got enough money to buy sandwiches to do the next gig and get the petrol home, because we always considered DJs were the enemy, you know. Live music, man. You ready?
When I bought the farm, I had 300 head of cows, and that was in '91, and I actually sold them on. So now I do a few pigs and some arable, and mainly, you know, fodder.
It's a change from heavy metal. I mean, me and Ken, we've lived and breathed heavy metal. You know, we've been on tour for 20 years. It's just a nice contrast.
Look at that, environmental friendly that was. Shot the tree.
It's all part of living in the country, and I've got a love for guns anyway. I've got a small gun collection. I like the mechanics of guns, you know. I don't particularly like the fact that you shoot things with them, but I like the mechanics. Ready? Pull. And just for the hat trick. Ready? Pull. There you go. It's a harmless way of getting all the aggression out of your system.
You can paint anybody's face on there that you want to, you know. Yeah.
You can put anybody's face on there that you hate.
Anybody from your record company, you know, it's, you know, any agent's name.
Enemies from the past, or enemies that you think you will get. Put the name on there, send it up in there and shoot it. And then you don't go to jail and you go down the pub after another pint.
You know, there's a lot of things to do in the world and in life. Obviously, other than actually play a musical instrument.
There's one thing that's worth noting. You'll find a lot of people that operated these machines have only got one leg. And that's because when you pull this around like this, you can see there's a lot of power in it, right? So if you happen to forget to move your leg there and that hits it, it takes your leg off. So you do find a lot of people that shoot have only got one leg.
This is not all we do. We do.
We're hours of entertainment. Hours of entertainment.
Glenn even skis, which is like something I haven't really ever got into. Here we go.
Well, we were going to Newcastle City Hall. Newcastle City Hall? You know, old Ford Granada, which was our means of transport at the time, which we thought was quite luxurious. And we were late, because everybody used to pick everybody up in those days, and everybody was late, so you got a cumulative lateness. so we were always late. So I'm going up the M1 in a blizzard.
We're not girls.
We
never got there.
M1 in a blizzard, and I was going faster than I should have been. And everybody's asleep in the car, and I lost control and ran into this barrier. And I always remember I had about 4 seconds of uncontrollability in the car to warn everybody, and I tried to do it in not a voice that would startle them, you know, like a, wake up guys, and we're going to crash. And of course, we hit the barrier before the...
Here we go.
And again.
This is Dad, he paid for everything. I lied, really. Yeah, Dad's on his way now. Just to drop another, you'll see him drop a big money bag any second now.
Well, I think the one thing that sticks in my mind, which was, it wasn't completely early on in Priest's career, but it was the Oz Festival that we did in the States, which was just incredible. It was 300,000 or 400,000 people.
We flew over there in a helicopter, didn't we? That was how the bands were getting in and out. And it just looked like, I thought it was a forest or something. It just looked like a mass of brown. Do you remember that, Glenn? It was just like a mass of brown mass on the floor. And you got close, you didn't realise it was people and tents and cars, and it was really strange. Oh.
Okay, ready? One more. Ready? There you go. Well, we spent the last 6 to 8 months writing, myself and Ken. So we've written a new Priest album, and we had got a short list of probably 10 to 15 singers, all of which are incredible. And I think we've got a short list from about 1,000 applicants.
We know that, but we want to assure our fans across all over the world that you know, that they can hold us to it. That the album will be totally, you know, totally on the money.
Direct to Thomas and Mac to see Ozzy again. You bet, man. 5 Black Sabbath tunes, the whole shot. Mr. Crowley, Goodbye to Romance. And the crazier Ozzy goes, the crazier we're gonna all go tonight. All right, Las Vegas! Yeah!
I'm gambling a lot of my reputation on the proposition that we can make this happen. We are making it happen, and that people are going to respect the music, they're going to respect the singing, they're going to respect the whole concept of unearthing a lot of great songs and like a diamond, turning it over and polishing it and giving it a whole new aspect, you know, which I think we can do with these songs.
There no unlockable doors, there no unwinnable wars, there no unwritable wrongs or unsingable songs.
I've been flying for Ozzy since April. We've been on the road now for a month and a half, all across the United States.
Yeah.
We go and fly to where the concert is. He gets there about 2.5 hours, maybe 3 hours prior to. Okay.
Even Ozzy in his song Crazy Train, he's talking about a world gone out of control, pressures and all the ills of society that are just driving him almost crazy. And that's a valid comment. I mean, that's the way a lot of people feel today, that they're virtually being driven to distraction because things seemingly are out of control, and to some extent they are. And doing great classic songs that are only known to a few million people. That's a big audience, but there's a far bigger audience that knows nothing about the songs, really knows not very much about the artist.
There are no criminal crimes. There are no unrunnable rhymes. There are no identical twins or forgivable sins. There are no incurable
when I'm up there, I don't feel any pain or any. I rip my nail off down to the fucking knuckle till I'm up there. I just don't. So I don't feel it. It's like I don't feel it. Like it's killing me right now. Like now I'm shaking. That's adrenaline. It'll take me 5 hours to come down from there. So that's why when I was on the plane I wasn't talking like that, because it's like I'm just kind of like preparing myself for the unknown, because every time I go on stage it's a different show. There's no sex, drugs or anything like a good gig, and there's nothing was bad. There's a bad gig, you know. And so at least I don't take myself for granted. What I am really is a person, a clown really. I just love to see people having fun. I don't take myself serious. As long as them kids walk away from that gig going, man, we had a good night out. That's all that matters to me. I don't give a fuck what brand. I mean, this stigma of being heavy metal is a pain in the ass, because why don't they just say it's Ozzy music or fucking Def Leppard music or whatever music? It's like, in the mid 80s to the late 80s, it was like Poison, Ozzy, Motorhead, Metallica, Def Leppard, fucking Motley Crue, and they were all called heavy metal, and they're about as heavy as my fucking left nut, you know. I mean, Motley Crue were a good band, man. But to compare Motorhead and Ozzy Osbourne and fucking Poison, I mean, Poison weren't heavy, but a pop band, man. And everybody started buying guns, and I said to him, why would you want to buy a fucking gun, man? You're in the entertainment building. What you got to do? Shoot the first 4 rows. He goes, oh no, man, everybody's buying guns. And I go, this is fucking nuts. In California, you can't smoke a fucking cigar or a cigarette, yet you can buy a fucking gun. I'd rather have second-hand smoke than a fucking second-hand bullet, thank you. Like, Into the Void, you know, rocket engines burning fuel so fast, up into the night sky they blast, burning metal to the atmosphere, earth remains in worry, hate and fear, with the battles raging on, you know. I mean, we as kids, when we were kids, we you know, you got to put it in context. When we were kids, It was, if you go to San Francisco, be sure to wear a fucking flower in your hair. Now, we were kids from Aston in Birmingham when I was in Black Sabbath. And we thought, it ain't that. We got our asses hanging out of our jeans. We got not fucking 2 dimes to rub together. And there's this fucking idiot on the saying what a wonderful world it is. For them it is, but for the rest, I mean, I find it quite alarming that in this day and age, that there's still 2/3 of the population of this planet hungry. My wife and I kind of pride ourselves on being treating the kids as young, little, big people kind of thing, instead of going, oh, we've never coochie-cooched them and fucking, you know, oh, don't ask me that question, you're too young, you know. But if they, I mean, and the most idiotic thing my folks would ever say to me, and I'd go, can I have this? And I would go, no. And I go, well, why not? And shit, I'd go, because I said so. What the fucking hell does that mean? I mean, you either say, well, because I haven't got the money, I can't afford it, or because you've already got one, or some reasonable reason. Because I mean, when I remember, it's quite funny actually. When I was a kid, my mother and father used to have we used to fight all the time. I mean, every family fights. My wife and I have fights. And then there would be this period of silence. I wouldn't be speaking. And I always remember sitting on the front doorstep of my house, and I used to say to my father, he'd put his overcoat on and he'd walk down there, and I used to say, Dad, where you going? And he'd go, off my fucking head. And I used to think there was a place called Off My Fucking Head. Because he would have a big fight with my mum and come back singing. He'd be to the bar. And I think, well, it must be a great place, this Off My Head, because he goes out pissed off and he comes back singing. I couldn't wait to, and then he would take me to the pub and I would sit outside. And within 10 minutes I'd be singing old pub songs. And I would think, I can't wait till the day comes when I can drink that lemonade. I envisioned this incredible tasting lemonade. And when I first sampled alcohol, I hated the taste, yet that feeling got me. It was what I was searching for, and I was an instant alcoholic. One of the things I used to do a lot of was be embarrassed what I did yesterday and frightened what I was going to do tomorrow, and yet I would be living today thinking about that yesterday and tomorrow. And what I've managed to, through therapy and help, I'm here now talking to you in my dressing room, and so I'm alive. I'm feeling good. I did a good show.
Leave me in hell.
We're going to Ocean Way Studios. We're just about to enter the door. I'm going to meet Pat for the first time, and I'm going to find out exactly what's going on here for the first time, and I'm going to be shocked by a big band playing the song Holy Diver. Here we go. Come this way. How you doing? Here's a beautiful place. Lots of records on the wall. So that's a record. Remember, kids, these were called records.
I don't have anything personal against him, but if he wants to do one of my songs, I can't stop him.
Is this the man? Hello. Well, how you doing? Pleasure to know
Boone.
you. Oh, I said that first. Now you're back.
Yeah.
As long as you call me Mr. B.
I'll call you RJ.
Okay. But not for long.
I know another RJ, of course.
Long way, 3, 4, 1. If you wanna rock and roll,
I guess the singers will come in on. No?
Or is that you?
Well, I guess.
Yeah.
Pot, blood, guts, death, mayhem, pyros, leather, studs. Hell yeah!
Smoke on the Water. Who's Smoke on the Water originally by? That is by don't know.
If Rolf Harris has done it, then Pat Boone can do it. That's all I can say. There's a stripper in Argentina who did a great version of Smoke on the Water. It's about 1,000 versions, and Pat might as well have a pop at it.
I think in this instance it's a compliment. Well, whatever it was before, I think it's a compliment now that he wants to cover one of our tunes. Thanks.
Oh, Deep Purple. Yeah, Deep Purple. Well, see, you got to help me on that. Thanks. And Tom Scott is the arranger on this particular song.
And what I tried to do was give it a little Latin flavor, because the key to this tune is a little bass line that goes. It was kind of an anthem in the 70s for those of you who remember the 70s. It went boom do 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 do.
Actually, let's hear flugelhorns. I wouldn't mind that. That would be cool.
This is Dweezil Zappa.
Hey, good to meet you. You hear I'm singing about your dad here to the next song.
3 and 1.
This is Hendrix.
Yeah, he burned it in Miami, and then.
Do I dare ask how?
Well, you know, I'm sure it was with some sort of lighter fluid.
Uh-huh.
And I don't.
At Woodstock.
Yeah, I mean, he burned several of his guitars, but then it was given to my dad, and then he played it, and then he gave it to me.
With Hendrix guitar and you playing it, given to your dad, and we're singing a song about your dad, which in a real event where the studio, not the guitar, burned down.
You know, it's got perfect sense.
It literally is. Most folks don't even know this really happened.
That's right.
That Deep Purple went to make a record in Montreux, and Zappa and the Mothers were
And who would have thought
at
it
the
would
best
take
place
Pat Boone
around.
to
And
explain
yeah,
it?
right, yeah.
You need to have,
They're being finished now.
You need to write Pat on your knuckles like Ozzy.
Yeah. Does he have hate on his knuckles?
No,
I'll put milk, M-I-L-K.
That would be good.
It sounds great, man. The classic shit.
Yeah,
Did you pay the guy?
The amp's this big. You know?
Love it. Love it. Let's do it. Let's carve it, huh?
Guitar solo in now.
Yes, yeah. I just feel like it should be. It just doesn't sound right when it has. It's too heavy. Yeah. Too incongruous. We'll keep it back. We'll just do it.
Frank Zappa and the Mothers were at the best place around.
some stupid with a flare gun burned the place to the ground. Smoke on the water, a fire in the sky.
When is enough enough?
Smoke on the water.
My man. The only one to shoot a clay. The only one to shoot a clay pigeon.
The man, take me on. Take me down to the paradise city where the grass is green and the girls are pretty. Oh, won't you please take me home? Say your prayers, little one. Don't forget, my son, to include everyone. I tuck you in, warm within, keep you free from sin, till the Sandman he comes. Mental wounds not healing, life's a bitter shame. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train. I'm going off the rails on a crazy train.
It needs to be about 5 times that loud. I don't know why this player isn't playing it a whole lot louder than that. But you need to listen to my record just as loud as you listen to the original.